Hello, my name is Lo, pronouns he, him, and this is another session of Girl by Moonlight. This is on the Sea of Stars, on a Sea of Stars. I can't remember how it's said, but we are in the last few sessions, which means we are headed towards the final missions. Last time there was an escort mission that took a lot out of people. And four of the NPCs vanished into the great beyond, never to be seen again. And one of the NPCs that did not go into the void has come back changed. And some of our PCs are injured. So there are a lot of things on the table that we're going to get to. Mechanically, let's take a look at our our series sheet for the series abilities. Right now, you have Academy Trained, Sync Ratio, and High Alert from your standard series abilities. And then from Transcendent abilities, you have Plugged In. And then you have two others. You had been talking about doing one of the shrine moves, but I don't think we'd ever kind of settled on that, on coming up with a better one. So that was kind of left out in the open. And based on the points that you got last session, you actually now have two series abilities that you have not settled on. So before we go too much further, I would like to see if anyone has a strong feeling about one of those abilities, an ability from another playbook. Again, we mentioned the Shrine, we mentioned Never Alone as possibilities there. So any thoughts on that? Throwing it out to the table. Risky move.
Never Alone was a good ability too, wasn't it? So if we say, oh, we're going to do Shrine and then maybe take Never Alone as well, that was the other one that was sort of in running.
Sure, let us take a look at the Never Alone ability. See if I can quickly find it in here. No, it's not in the index. So it's in one of
It's
our
in series references starting at 150.
Yes, so protagonists may use teamwork regardless of the distance separating them. When you assist a teammate from afar, ask that player one question about their character from your gather info list.
So that's a sort of unlimited, though I think we kind of did that. Did we? I guess there were times when we were separated from each other, like when Radiant was up fighting the one guy all the way up there while we were
Right.
up by the
I mean,
down by the
if you want to go simple, there are still remaining action rating bonuses. For example, by Starlight, people could assign an additional action rating to Forgive, Empathize, or Flow.
I was also looking back at our Sea of Stars. With the way we picked up those extra moves to do readiness preparation, the on borrowed time. During downtime, you may remove one segment from the readiness track after a roll to improve the result by one step. This cannot be used to make preparations. But where we had those like extra actions just to pump up readiness last time, we could potentially spend some of those ticks to help other downtime actions be better.
That's an interesting idea. And that ability is
On borrowed time.
On borrowed time.
It's from
That's
our Sea of Stars.
Yeah, that certainly makes sense. I have cleared the readiness track from last time because it goes down by half. But you still do have some ticks there.
And we do get bonus actions in doing readiness.
Yeah.
Yeah. Shall we take that one? Okay.
Sure.
All right. So you have on borrowed time. Copy.
What if we had a shrine that made us better at fixing engines?
Okay. How mechanically do we think we want to define that?
Yeah, I'm trying to get down to the other shrines right now.
Yeah, let's take a look.
There's one where we can always tell if someone's lying and ask a follow-up question on gather info. There's one where once during a mission, one protagonist can choose to ignore level 4 harm.
Oh,
They
that's
die but
nice.
return to life moments later. Wow. Or there's one where the protagonists count as being one tier higher on the investigation track. I think that's our readiness track.
How,
So
well, let's consider this. We want something that's going to buff you doing the healing action, right? Like if you take the healing action, we want something that's significant that's going to buff that.
Or the
So
engines, right?
for the engines.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've got a couple that need strength back and so on. And right now the engine rules for recovery are 4 ticks to do a recovery.
How many ticks to do a strength?
but
Each strength requires a recovery.
so 4 ticks for a
Yeah.
strength.
How about a shrine that when you go to heal your engines, essentially raises the tier of your success?
That would be good.
Yeah.
Then at least you're getting 2 ticks, even if you don't do great.
No more
3,
than
I
that.
think, would be the minimum.
Yeah.
Okay.
So because right now,
Does it work like a project clock tick?
yeah. Because the standard ticks are 3, 4, 5, right?
I think so in this one.
So
Yeah, in this game, yeah.
yes. So it would be actually then standard ticks would be 3, 4, 5. So to be 4, 5, 6.
Which means in theory, if you could get 2 good successes, you could get rid of 2 ticks altogether, right?
Oh,
Or
no.
2, 3
It's
ticks.
2, 3, 4.
Oh, is it 2, 3, 4? Okay.
Yeah.
But
And then 5
but-
on a crit.
Yeah, but that's still pretty nice. That would raise you up to 3, 4, 5 with a 6 as a crit for recovery.
And make our average be us getting rid of an injury on the back pretty much every time we roll.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
provided we don't roll terrible, knock on wood,
Hmm.
we'd fix one.
Are you all okay with that as an option?
I like that.
Okay.
What would our
Somebody has
shrine
to- has-
spirit
yeah,
be for
Yeah.
that?
What is that?
Well, we talk about this kind of necro mechanism that is the entire, has a big part of our world. Do we think the shrine ties into that kind of machines of death, machines of the dead gods? Is it Bastion, or is it like a one of the lost parts of the church somewhere that we harken back to, that connects these machines and makes them heal?
I
The
sort
last
of
one is-
like the idea of like lost progenitor god on the same level as like Bastion is a protector god, but this is one of the ones that's truly lost. Something that
At
could be
least
like
that's how
parental for them or something.
the shrine is called that. I think that we're going to call it, if I may, Shrine of the Lost Machine. and allow ourselves to kind of as we want to meta that in, that's how we will do that.
May I make a suggestion to add a little role play flavor to it and bring in maybe like that other shrine, and then we can ask one of our specific questions to our mech or the mech we're fixing. And that way we get a little role play, just more than just straight, okay, we rolled, it's fixed.
All of the shrines do come with a little follow-up question, like what price does the fox demand, or what did death feel like, whose face did the Valkyrie wear, or how does the shrine reveal secrets to those that maintain it? So
You think it might be then, does whichever one of the engines we fix, does it ask us a question we have to answer, or
Oh, I like
could be
that.
interesting.
Yeah. Essentially, when you repair with that shrine, the engine asks a question of you. Okay. Let me do one thing. Get to that. Cut to that. Okay.
So what ended up being our other series move? We got the repair shrine, and we chose
On borrowed time. So for downtime actions, you can take a tick off of the readiness clock if you want to up the result of your downtime action after you roll it.
All right. I am we have a recording on, so we've been recording this. So we are going to start then. We need to look at the fallout phase here. Center track resets. Sorry. Does that was going to roll for that. We do that. So we did our advances. We got our series XP. So we're actually going to take up with all of you back at the hangars. Some of you injured. Let's walk through and see what everybody's like physical status is and what the status of your engine is. So Sia, where are you at physicality?
I'm fine personally. Got very close on stress, but we're about to reset that, I think.
Right. More that your engine is in quite bad shape.
You mean every engine I touch?
Yes, that is what I spoke of. Yes. Uh, so that's where you're at. Next is Tav. Where are you at?
Me personally, due to what happened at the end, I didn't take my horrible damage, so I've just got a 1 tick or a level 1. And poor Peggy has 2 marked.
Okay. And Zavi, where are you at?
Got two different level 1 harms, and my engine's actually fine.
Okay. And Manon?
1 level 1 harm, and my engine is in fine shape because Regulus never takes damage before I do.
Regulus never takes damage.
Before I do.
This is 100% an in-person conversation, isn't it?
Yes.
So we've got that. Let's look at the Bastion track. We I think we went back to that, the Fallout phase. We did that. Did the Series XP advantage. So we go back to the start of things. Go back into that setup here. I apologize. Pokey. So we're going to talk about the obligation phase here in a bit. We're going to have that roll. Before we do that, I do want to give you all a chance to interact with one another, check in with one another following this showdown. The various engines are moved off to different parts of the facility. They call down and they're trying to work on all of them. I think you will realize as you are there, as the various ground crews come out, that they were clearly not informed that Team Arcturus was not coming back. And so you will see pretty quickly the engineering teams and the ground crews and stuff are starting to kind of freak out about that. And you will see that our NPC Sandahl, who is with you, is also clearly very disoriented by what has occurred. I think I do want to start with Manon as team leader on this, and then I want to check in with everyone. Manon, what's your reaction to this? What's your reaction to the changes with Zavi? What do we see here, Manon?
I think that probably what she sees is Sandahl. Zavi, like Zavi she saw in the thing, and that was good. Does that make any sense? And I think that she does sort of turn around and like point her fingers at him and say like this, but then she goes immediately to Sandahl because she's saying that we're dead. If that makes any sense. And
she's like, what is going on?
And she goes, at the last moment, there was a shift. I am not familiar, but I think you may have changed places with a different Sandahl.
And you see her pause, and she says, she clearly like looks around at the others, and you can see her trying to come to terms in her head with the fact that all of you are alive.
And she goes, talk to your engine, see what it says. It may have a different sense of things.
Okay. Sia, what are you doing here in this sort of immediate aftermath with your engine beaten to hell, with clearly there having been some time fuckery and other weirdness? What do we see of Sia? What do we see of Radiant?
The time fuckery is certainly something, and I think Sia is just like choosing to ignore that for the moment. That's too much, too far down the list. We'll deal with that like reality shaking revelation in a bit.
Okay.
And similarly, I want to like run over and ask Zavi 1,000 questions, but that's not really the important thing. Is like I was not under the clear understanding that we were just gonna leave Team Arcturus behind with no words. So I want to find out where the hell they are and what's up with them and when we're going to get them back.
How are you doing that? Like, what are you doing?
I need someone important, and it's probably Radiant that needs someone important because important people don't listen to Sia.
So you bringing that aspect to the fore, Are you kind of changing quietly? Are you changing in front of?
No, because I stumbled out of Perseus as Sia, didn't I?
Yeah.
Uh, yeah, I think there's that like moment of shock and silence and catching breaths, and then there's just this like flaring bonfire light show as radiant explodes out of him and he goes off to find the highest ranking officer he can.
Okay. Top, what do you do when you see that happen?
I guess I don't have to keep that secret anymore.
Yeah.
Ah,
There's various crew around that are they're probably not sure exactly what's going on, but they certainly saw something.
holy crap! Did you see that? I never knew a thing. Oh, I in seriousness,
Yeah.
I thought, in my mind, I was like, okay, in a desperate action to try and save Sandahl, I had reached out to do something, and that didn't work because everybody's the same except Sandahl, which is kind of not what's supposed to happen.
That's correct.
So I'm kind of, oh crud, that's very strange, very weird. Um,
So, well, is it just Sandahl, or is it us versus a new universe? I'm sort of unclear on that one too.
I don't know.
The only
Um,
person who said that anything seems weird has been Sandahl.
it's been Sandahl who said we were all dead. Um, so I think first things first, I am going to go to Zafi since I recognized that a transformation did occur.
Okay.
Did you pop out of your mech still transformed, transcended?
No, no, I think Zavi does not look any different except sort of dazed and disoriented.
But we would have felt it and seen it in the mech, right?
Yeah,
And
and at the
that's
very least you would have felt the rift energy going strange as we all popped into a different universe or not, whatever happened.
okay. I Zafi, um, you transcended, didn't you?
Does it always suck that much?
I kind of like it, but uh, did it suck? Well, I mean, the situation definitely sucked. And then
No,
you
no,
were awesome
yes,
and
all of
saved
it.
us all.
All I mean, okay, the part where we're alive, that's good. I'm not saying I wish I didn't do it. I'm just saying I don't want to ever do it again.
Why?
It's hard to describe. It's like dying.
Boy. Um, wow. That's very different than I experience it, and I'm sorry that boy, that really sucks for you. All this time you couldn't, and now you can, and it's not good. I,
I,
man, Savi, I am so sorry.
I think maybe I could all along. It's like dying and I resisted it
Hmm.
the way you resist dying.
Well, maybe as you maybe if you get a little more practice and if you learn how to kind of accept rather than fight, it,
Yeah. Yeah.
but you saved us. Thank you. I mean, I thought
Yeah,
I was a goner.
yeah, it was what's going on with Sandahl?
Oh, I'm not sure they're talking their man. But you are a big damn hero, and I'm giving you a hug.
Yeah, and I like hug him back, still looking like kind of once again like, oh no, what have I just gotten myself into? This now I'm gonna have to do this again.
I think you will all get the call that you're going to need to go into jump positions. We're heading back to Bastion. Uh, I know we just did a jump, but we're going to need to do another one to head back to Bastion. We'll need everybody to get locked down. And essentially, I think that the orders will kind of come down. Pilots, if your mechs are damaged, stay by your mechs while we do this next jump and secure positions. And they will do that hyperspace transit. And you will find yourselves in that kind of chaotic system. The one with the sort of energy fields and kind of solar storms going on and such. And they will essentially move to park the Bellerophon in as protected an orbit as they can right now. And you will get kind of an announcement on the comms that we're going to be opening up if you need to go down to Bastion for transit in the next day or so. We'll make those arrangements. Just kind of a general check-in. We need to do damage assessment and all of that. So get ready. But at this moment, you're on your own until we get passage set up down to Bastion from the Bellerophon.
Okay. I like the idea that since Radiant has left, Manon, when they say to be with the damaged mechs, Manon starts to go towards Lyra because Lyra's so dinged up, but Lyra kind of like flares, like, don't you come near me. And so she goes back to Perseus.
We've now established that there is a shrine. What Radiant, I want to like maybe have you tell me something about this shrine, since you're the one who's probably most going to have to go to like visit it. But where is it? What does it look like?
I think there's some artifact, like a constantly shifting mechanical thing, sort of slightly impossible or perpetual motion-y, and it just like mechanically and geary and joints and weird metal bits folds in and out of different shapes all the time.
Different gears that are changing impossible cogs at even as they kind of shift around. Okay, I like that. Tyler, what's another thing we'll see? Like we see that as kind of the centerpiece of that shrine of the lost machine. What else? I mean, is there a place where you sit to pray? Is there a station? What else do we see here?
I think that since it's kind of something we've just now either discovered or we kind of figured out. I think that you go in and it has part of that kind of the organotech that is the engines. And you, just like with the engines, you kind of get into it and kind of meld with. And with the control panel, you can see how it connects in to like the bays for the engines. And you can, with your kind of the connection and the will, you're directing the energy of it to that bay. But it's very much you are the connection for the engine and this shrine to come together to do that repair, to give the energy needed.
Okay, I like that. I think that shortly after that jump, after you arrive in system, the Bellerophon, uh, as you're, you know, getting the counter doses of the drugs that you have to take when you make the jump, now you get the mauve drug to come out of hyperspace. Uh, uh, you will be called up to the Situation Room, and when you get up there, there's a couple of the tactical team. There's a couple of supervisory tech priests from Bastion, who you've seen before. They have definitely those markers. They are kind of seated at the back of the room. They are looking over things. You're not sure if they're looking over the data from your mission or they're looking over something else, but there's a team in the back. Usually your bishop kind of speaks to you maybe with an attaché, or one on, speaks to you himself, to your group, but there are definitely more people in the room. And he will say that mission was entirely successful. I see we've suffered some damage to the engines, but all of them returned. That is excellent. We will put our resources into doing those repairs as quickly as possible. I understand that there was an incident regarding Sandahl. I will have Quora speak with Sandahl and get the full debrief on that situation.
On that situation, the hell it was successful. The mission's not even over yet. Where the hell is Arcturus?
Your side of the mission is complete. Team Arcturus are carrying out their side of the mission.
And what are we doing to get them back?
Team Arcturus is carrying out their side of the mission, Radiant. This is the job that they signed up for. This is the job that they are carrying out right now. Things are unsettled on Bastion. I do need you to go down, check in with your people, get some on-planet time, but be cautious, given, as I say, how unsettled things are. But very soon, we may need to move at a moment's notice to scramble. We can no longer move Bastion. we have to be prepared for what comes next. Now, if there was more that I could tell you on that, I would. There are external factors on that. Team Arcturus went in, they know their mission. Like you, there are pilots in there carrying that mission out. And I hope that they will return to us. But right now, we're in a difficult situation. This system provides a certain amount of cover, but that will not last. And we need to be ready for when the Leviathans come. Am I understood?
Yes, sir.
Then you are dismissed. You have liberty for 48 hours. Check in after that time.
Yes, sir.
And he will, the doors open as if to say, move along, children. And I imagine we cut to the chunk of those doors closing after you all have left the room.
Yes. We have to hope that whatever mission they're on, we gave them the best start possible. At least they started out unhurt.
Left them in the middle of nowhere.
We left them on another side of a rift.
Get out in some lost system.
We have to take at least on some faith that their mission's important.
Really, and the best thing we can do to support it is take a couple days of vacation.
It's not like we could go through the rift.
We don't know what we could do. They won't tell us anything.
That is annoying.
They've never told us anything, Radiant.
Never abandon us like this.
So perhaps they haven't abandoned us.
I mean, that's what happened in Sandahl's version.
What do you mean?
She said we were all dead.
Well, no, that doesn't mean that they abandoned us. It means we died previously. Yes?
I wonder why.
Ah, I see. So why don't we, when we see Sandahl, ask what happened?
That should
Yeah.
be upbeat.
I'm sorry. Apparently, there's no trust anymore, and I'm not sure how we can go forward without finding some way to find a way forward.
Bastion, if we're stuck here at Bastion and Bellerophon isn't moving, eventually the Leviathans will find us.
Mhm. And so what will our duty be?
They'll fight.
That's right. We will defend. And apparently we will be waiting to see how the other pilot's mission goes. I can't imagine that they would have thrown defenders off into a rift for no reason. Radiant.
I have a hard time believing they'd throw engines away like that.
Yeah, the engines
Yes.
didn't want to go in. I think you're the only one who had that revelation.
Weren't the only ones they've been lying to. They blinded the engines, cut them off, numbed them. tranquilize them, something, so they couldn't say anything about where they were going, so they couldn't input on what was happening. They turned them into a gearbox. A rocket with a face.
Maybe
But the
we
pilot's wet, and they knew that.
Regulus is, and I think we all sort of accept Regulus might be the oldest of the ancients. Certainly, their knowledge is very deep. Maybe you could ask Regulus what they think was on the other side of the rift.
All right. I'm gonna do that.
Let's do our obligation phase, and
Okay.
then we'll do another kind of RP once around, check-in, scenes, crossings, and all of that kind of thing. Sia, do you want to roll moon or sun? Sun is
Get rid of all the stress first, right?
Oh yeah, please remove your stress. No one went into eclipse. Some of you also clear your specials if you mark that, or armors.
Gotta remember that armor. I always forget. I did pick up a move though to use my special armor.
Oh, good. Sun is scary people and or circumstances, or is physically taxing. Moon is breaks your heart or drives you to despair.
I avoided that one last time, but I think it's appropriate this time, Moon.
Okay, then roll me 2d6.
Radiant and Sia are both in a state. Uh, 4, the best one. It's
Okay.
resistance roll.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So 2d6.
Or 2 stress.
Yeah, I'm sorry, 2d6, 2 stress. Mark 2 stress. I think that as you are walking around, you will see Sandahl, and she will approach you very tentatively. And she will say, are you in Radiant or Sia form at this point? Are you still in Radiant?
No, this could be Sia.
Okay. She will say, the others are going to ask me about what I saw where I came from. I don't know what I should say to them, Sia.
Why not?
Because you killed them. You lost control of Lyra, and Lyra ate them.
What did it look like? What did I
You're
look
fighting something that clearly was like Lyra, was a giant thing that seemed like it was part of Lyra, or Lyra was part of it. I don't know. It affected our minds, and then Lyra merged with part of it, and then you killed the others. Not you, Lyra, the other Lyra, the one that I knew did that. I, I wanted to warn you, but but I just I don't know if I should tell the others what I saw.
That's I no, that's not this universe. That's not this Lyra. That's not why they were brought back.
Not why they were brought
It's
back. What do you mean?
it's I mean that can't be. It's not it's not a purpose, that's an ending. It's not a last chance. That's just nothing. It's not going to
She takes a
happen.
step back away from you because you're kind of starting to babble, and you see that she actually looks scared of you right now.
It's not what's going to happen.
Okay. If you don't want me to tell them, I won't.
You can tell them. You can tell them anything. It doesn't matter what you tell them because it's just some fantasy that's not real. It's some dream.
Okay.
Um, I think his eyes and parts of his skin are starting to like glow and shine.
Yeah. I think the permission to be dismissed.
Guess, yeah, that's fine. I'm not. Well, I guess I. Yes, sure.
Uh Octavius. You are a man who has a full range of choices. Sun, moon, stars.
Yes, indeed. Um, what stars again?
Stars is put you under social pressure or sets off your anxiety.
Let's go with stars. I hadn't done it in eons.
Okay. Two dice.
Oh, yes, that's me. I have to roll. I roll a thing. Oh, 3.
So just one stress.
Just
So,
one?
right? Because you rolled a 5. So you just take one stress.
Oh, is that how it's done? Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. This is that one that starts you out with a little bit of banked stress at the
Oh,
start.
it's 6 minus what
Yeah.
you roll,
Yeah,
not
yeah.
what it's not your lowest roll
Right.
added.
No. Uh, uh, so you will uh, uh, find that uh, like people are a little wary of you and the team. Like they don't know what's happened to Arcturus. They don't have a sense of things. They're nervous. They've heard some word about what's gone on Bastion. And as you may remember last time I talked about that the last time you were at Bastion, there were people that were saying that all of this was your fault.
Yeah.
And so I think you'll get that low level uh rumor there. And I think that at some point you are approached by your sister who will and again her name is Calliope. She will come to you and she will say, "Is something up with Sia? Some engineers, like they said they saw him change."
Sia Sia and Radiant are one and the same, apparently.
Like related?
Like Radiant is Sia's transcendence.
Wait, do you have another person when you transcend?
Yes, have you never seen?
I mean, I've seen the transcendence, but it just seemed like you, but double plus.
Well,
I mean, there's a real like, and she pauses. She doesn't want to be nasty, but she says, "There's a pretty big difference between Sia and Radiant."
I think there's an element perhaps of Radiant being a little bit of maybe wish fulfillment for Sia. Uh, I I won't say the honestly, I like Sia better than Radiant, but uh I think Sia sometimes sees Radiant as his better side.
So do you have to save both of them? Is that why you're here?
Think so.
All right, all right. Well, just be careful. People, there's a lot of grumblings.
How are you?
I'm tired.
I got you working a lot.
Yeah, I don't think the bishop wants the support staff to go down to Bastion.
I I think everybody's on edge about Arcturus, and down on Bastion, they're blaming everyone. Well, they're especially blaming us and the engines, but I have a feeling that that overflows to everybody up here on the ship. Um, I think that things, one way or another, are going to come to a head soon. Whatever Arcturus is doing, I think it was important. And if Bellerophon and Bastion are stuck here for an extended period, I think the Leviathans will eventually congregate and try and find us.
Wait, why would Bastion be stuck here?
Well, I think there's a bit of things that are being worked on. Hopefully, it won't be for long. Hopefully, it won't be something that
Oh, okay. I thought you knew something. Anyway,
I think we should be prepared just in case we don't get a chance to jump before there's a major attack. I
uh,
want you to be as careful as possible.
understood. And she will head back to her.
Well, before she heads off, I kind of take her hand as she turns to move away, and I say, "I want to thank you. I couldn't, I couldn't have known that there would be someone to care about me when I came here. Finding you has made this home. I love you."
He's never coming back, is he? Just tell me.
If he does, I don't think he will be the same. I'm sorry.
He will head off. Manon. you're also, do you wish to roll sun, moon, green clovers?
Yeah,
Which one do you want to?
Sun is scary people, right?
Sun is scary people or circumstances or is physically taxing.
No, I think scary people, because Tavi asked me to go and speak to Regulus about what was behind that rift. And when push comes to shove, only afraid of Regulus, if that makes any sense
Sure.
in his judgment.
Roll
So-
2d6.
Oh,
Yeah,
six.
they're all 5s and 6s. Look at all these high numbers.
So
This is all good.
everything's gonna be cake. It's gonna be cake.
Absolutely. By the way, I went through the architecture for the end of the last thing, and the Bastion did a make preparations based on things. So I added 3 more ticks to that, which gives you a little more resources for using that new move that you picked up, actually. So
Okay.
just to tell you that. So you will go to Regulus. Regulus is amongst the various engines there, standing tall, proud, undamaged, uninjured.
Always. Yep.
Manon, or should I call you by another name?
What other name would you use?
The one that you've left in your overhead.
Oh, dang. Trying things out.
Manon.
All the engines. You are one of the oldest ones, aren't you? I mean,
Yes.
you know what's behind that rift?
It is a rift to the realm where we come from, where the Leviathans come from. To that higher space where they exist, where we existed. We are fragmentums, bits and pieces of Leviathans, are we engines, solidified in different ways, manifested through different practices, but we come from there.
All those dimensions.
A dimension
Mhm.
that spans a range, but the forms that you see of the Leviathans are their intrusion into this space. That is the form that you see. It is a shadow of what they are.
Time is a dimension though too, isn't it? When I was little, when I used to come and sit and wait for the pilot to land after his mission, before you would actually come back to the hangar. When I was little, I could see the other ones of you, but then I couldn't see it after a while. Did something happen to those dimensions? Or those times? The Regulus just before with different pilots? Or did something happen to my ability to see it?
This conflict began when people from this world, from this plane, reached out to begin to manipulate and shape things in the upper planes. They begin to build their cities upon dead gods. They began to manipulate and shape, to use those powers, the bits and extrusions of those forces into this universe to make your arms and armor and communication systems. And that's what drew the things that live above.
So if we go through, are we not still intruding?
Yes. And to go back there, for one such as I to go back there, I do not know how it would be anything other than a death sentence. But I am fixed in this point and this place. So I do have enough wisdom to know that my perspective is narrow.
So once again, only answer then is faith.
It has always been faith.
And I think she leans against his leg. She goes, well, it's always been faith in you, but that's just for me.
Excellent. That brings us to Zavi. I believe, Zavi, you are a person who leans into sun. So roll me 2d6.
Or I guess more specifically, I don't lean into sun, which is why I have to roll it.
Yeah. Just
5.
one. Look at this great roll. All these great rolls. Really excellent. I'm proud to be part of this cresting wave of rolls here. So Zavi, you will come back, and you were assigned, you were the last of the team besides Sandahl, right?
Mhm.
And so you were given probably the most minimal quarters.
Yeah.
And when you come back, you'll see that there are some people in your room, and they are packing up your stuff.
Uh, I think just a brief flash of hope is there. And then no, of course not. But am I being reassigned?
Oh, Pilot Zavi, yes, a larger quarters, larger pilot quarters opened up, so we're moving you into another set of rooms.
Oh. Um. Oh. Right. So they're not expected back at all?
I really couldn't say. We just had this work order to
Of course,
transfer you over and
they wouldn't
to
tell
shift
you.
Sandahl over into this room.
Uh, all right. Yeah. Um, uh, there's something I need to sign.
Yeah, absolutely. If you give me your thumbprint here.
I do. And just kind of mechanically do what I'm told,
Huh.
I think.
They will haul
Uh,
your boxes. They will take you to another room. I think pretty quickly you'll realize that it was Soren's room.
mhm.
There's no evidence of Soren here. His stuff has been boxed up.
Yeah. Um, yeah, I think I'm gonna go find Sandahl.
Okay. Uh, you can find Sandahl. She's in the commissary. She looks kind of scared and nervous. Like when you come in, she definitely kind of jumps and looks and sees you, and then kind of stands to attention. Zavi,
Hey, it's just me. You don't need to.
I don't know what the. Uh, I mean,
Did you have to salute the like other versions of us?
not you. I mean, did she stops like, or Sia?
Huh. Um, I'll tell you something. I don't think that Manon or Tav are gonna be upset if you don't with them either. Just I think you can get away with just acting like they're, we're all on the same team here.
All right.
They're moving your quarters, by the way, just so you know.
I didn't even know where my quarters were.
Well, okay, I can show you where they are pretty easily because
Uh,
that's where I used to be.
oh,
Um,
where are they putting you?
where Soren used to be,
Oh,
which, yeah. Did you know Arcturus? I guess he wasn't really Arcturus either, but
I knew Team Arcturus. I mean, my brother was on Team Arcturus.
oh, wow. Are they alive where you came from?
They were badly injured. They were badly hurt. They were providing cover for the fight that cost you your life. They managed to get me out of there, and we got back to the Bellerophon.
Yeah. On this side, we don't know what's, but it seems like they don't expect them to come back.
Come back from where?
Uh, the rift.
The Rift.
Yeah. They were going into the interdimensional
I know
rift.
what the Rift is. They sent people in.
Yeah, yeah. Uh, that's what happened right before. Well, right before you came here, and I do not know how that happened.
And you see her kind of like she gets very quiet, like, and you guess like talking to her, you're guessing that this is Sandahl who maybe like was clearly in the service like
Mhm.
longer than the Sandahl that you knew here. And she'll get quiet, and she said, I sorry, I had to think about some things. Can I take a rain check on you showing me the room?
Yeah, yeah, of course. Sure.
All right. Let's take our first break here. Let's take 10 and we'll come back on the hour. I was going to forget to turn the recording back on. So before we go to downtime, I'd like to go have each of you have a chance to call a scene on the ship, down below, with NPC, with PC, something you're doing. And then we'll go to the downtime actions. See ya.
So many things.
Okay.
was telling them I am torn in so many directions. Shockingly, many of them highly irresponsible. But I did say earlier I wanted to talk to Zavi, and Zavi doesn't have 3 downtime moves anymore. So who knows? Maybe I won't get a link scene with Zavi this time. Shrot and horror. So yes, I'd like to go see Zavi.
Okay. Savi, where will Sia find you? In your new rooms? Not in your new rooms? In the relaxation area, down in the with the engine, somewhere else?
See, my engine is fine, but I think 1 second. Yeah, stop that. My
We were
screen's
training?
just like
Yeah.
drifting over and over as the cat's leaning on it. It was very distracting.
We also have the observatory and the training facility and the mess hall.
Oh, I'm hanging out in the observatory.
Okay.
Oh.
Do you imagine it more like a planetarium or more like a telescope or more like a just a computer room? How are you picturing that?
Patrick, I think you were responsible for building it. What's it like?
Let's see. It helps with recover engine and hunt Leviathan. So I do think there is a like a sort of 2-story glass wall element to it. But I also think it has like really advanced like stellar cartography sort of things, like hollow maps of systems and long range deep scans it can do and things like that. A big center console that does fancy lights and holograms.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I am using that to sort of look at the system that we were in that during the last mission, and like I don't really have a specific thing I'm looking for, but I'm just sort of looking through it, just zooming in and out. And
I think Radiant will walk in, and he's sort of coming up behind you, maybe a bit quietly, but when he's close, not like over your shoulder, but like he's a couple feet away. He'll say, he'll pause and think.
I'm sorry. I just realized I forgot something
Okay.
that I need to do. I'm going to pause the recording here for just a moment here because I needed to put it in the freezer and I did not put it in the freezer.
Oh,
So
yep.
let me go in and deal with that. So, observatory.
So he'll say as he's coming up, I've already plotted a dozen different jump paths to get back there. You want to see my top 4?
yeah,
He'll bring up a set of folders and charts he has saved there. Is anything on the long range sensors right now?
No, but looking. I don't think they expect them to be back at all. I think. I don't know where they sent. I mean, I know where they sent them, but I don't know. I do know that they moved me to Soren's quarters, so that seems like they probably don't expect him to be back on the ship.
This is insane. I mean, even in regular space, engines aren't really made to be long-term habitation or whatever they're doing like this.
Yeah, I don't know what I expected to find here, but
So you and Jaron, that was impressive.
yeah, yeah,
And he'll like give you a sort of congratulatory pat on the shoulder. And I think when he touches you, there's this like spark, this wave of blue and purple light that comes out of his chest and like travels down his arm and like washes across you. Not in a like changing you way, but in a sort of like there's something resonating between the two of us now. So what color would Zavi's transcendent aura be?
um, red.
And Seal like pull his hand back quickly and with a weird like that multi-layered effect to his voice, just say, I'm sorry. That's been I can't having a hard time with control right now.
Oh, okay. That was. I mean, it wasn't. You didn't hurt me or anything.
You sure?
Yeah, yeah, I'm sure. And there's this sort of, when you put your hand over a flashlight
Hmm.
and
Mhm.
you see the like glow between your fingers. It's like that sort of dark pink color. There's like just like that sort of fading around Zavi, right? Um, and uh, wait, what, what are you not? What are you having a hard time controlling? I'm not sure what that was.
I don't know everything. We're here, we're just sitting here. We're doing nothing, and the Bastion is just sitting here and doing nothing, and that's not how it works. We don't have those forces. We don't have those numbers, especially when we just willingly cut our numbers in half.
Yeah.
And I think Radiant can't I can't stand the idea of just doing nothing. We're made to do something.
I mean, I have no idea what we can do. I mean, on that front, I think I hate to say it because I'm gonna sound like Bishop Krennic and like everybody else, but I mean, I think right now all we can do is fix our engines and get ready for the next attack.
The only reason that's all we can do is because they won't tell us anything. We're the ones with the experience. We're the ones that know how the engines work better than anyone. Maybe there's something we could do. Maybe there's something we would see, but we can't see anything.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not even sure how to go about finding out.
I know.
Oh,
I I have a system I've been working on.
um,
I don't want to. I'll tell you later if it goes well.
okay, okay. Um, yeah,
I heard you saying earlier that you thought you'd been suppressing it this whole time.
it's my guess. I mean, I don't want to do it again. Let's put it that way. And I don't think I could do it again. Like right now, I think I did it because everything was going so wrong. I had nothing to lose. And Tav was stranded, and we were all
No,
going to die
everything
anyway.
was terrible.
Yeah, and so like,
Those things were. I've never actually seen anything that big that's not like a
yeah,
space rock.
yeah. Uh,
How do
and
you? Okay.
so I just did it, but it's not. I don't. I think I probably always could have if it had been that or everybody dies before,
Can
you
you
know?
can you teach me how to stop it?
Stop it. Suppose I can try. I'm not sure how but
I don't know how to.
we have the opposite problem.
Hmm.
Okay. It's kind of like if you're trying really hard to fall asleep without drugs, you can't. And as soon as you're about to, you can't quite let go of your mind enough to fall asleep. It's kind of like that. If you've ever done that.
So I have to try really hard to do it?
Yeah.
I think I want to cut that scene on that line there. Tav,
Yes.
like to call a scene, do a thing.
Yes. I think I need to go and speak with Sandahl.
You will find that Sandahl has been quartered in Zavi's old quarters.
Hmm.
You see her looking through Sandahl's stuff in that way that she's looking through it, but it's clearly like someone else's stuff.
I know that feeling. Um, did I know Sandahl in my timeline?
No,
So Sandahl
not in their timeline at all.
wasn't in my timeline at all, period.
Period.
Interesting.
Kind of why it
Okay.
was something of a shock when she joined the team.
Interesting. Okay. Um, knock knock.
Tav,
Just wanted to check on you, see how you're doing.
it it's a little disconcerting. There's there's clearly a life I led here, but did my did I not know that Torin was my brother?
I don't believe so.
It's a very different world. I mean, you're all dead. I mean, alive. So that's different, but you know what I mean.
I wanted to ask you a little about that. Um, you say we were all dead. How how were things with Bastion?
Strained. We're desperately, desperately moving it from point to point to try to stay ahead of the Leviathans. They were working on expanding the warp capabilities to see if we could do jumps sooner, faster. But it was uneasy.
What if what if I told you that the Sandahl that was here was going to die, and that you arriving here made sure that there was a Sandahl for this universe?
So what happened to the other Sandahl? What happened to your
Well,
Sandahl?
I cannot say for certain. I believe that they would have died here. Perhaps they went to your universe. Perhaps not. But I think I'm the one who caused it.
What do you mean?
I am not from this universe either.
Have you told the others? Like, did they know you got switched out?
I think some are aware. Certainly, well, I can't keep anything hidden from Bannon for long, and Sia is aware. But I was sent here as my bastion was being destroyed.
Oh,
My bastion sent me, I believe, in an attempt to save the bastion here. That said, the bastion here doesn't seem particularly fond of me, so I don't know. I don't know how good an idea it was. But I've been trying to make things better.
I have faith in Bastion. I have faith in my God. I, I, I I assume they're all I mean, they're not the same, but I assume they're kind of the same. But if your Bastion sent you away, it had a reason. There's something important that you have brought here. I know that. How it has to be.
That's what I believe as well. And I hope that's the same for you. I think you're going to be needed here.
All right. I'm gonna try. And then she says, I should tell you about what happened to you. And I think that we'll get the ... as she gives you the story about Lyra and Sia and all of that.
Okay.
Manon.
You shouldn't do this. Good to go and visit the bishop.
Okay. You will catch him just as he is getting ready to go down to the planet. Say, Manon, I'm headed down to Bastion for a few hours. Is there something you need?
I accompany you.
Yes. And I think you will see the little skiff ship leave from the Bellerophon, dive down into orbit. I think you'll see again, Bastion looks different each time you've been here. You can see there's still those craters and things from that last attack. It looks like they're trying to do some construction and building in like segments at the edges of the city. Like you're not sure if they're building like bunkers or what at sort of like 4 points surrounding the city, but you can definitely see that there's a new focus set of construction that's going on.
Interesting.
Maybe new weapons, but you're not sure.
Is it like 4 points then?
Yeah.
How far will those extend out?
Are you asking that, or are you asking
I'm asking the bishop.
I really couldn't say.
Is it another secret, or you don't know?
I can't tell you. And I can't tell your team. And again, I am sorry for what is going on. You know the physics. Paradox with the cat in the box.
Yes.
What is it you needed, Manon?
I think that's all I needed was the cat.
Please don't think about that too hard.
I don't have to. I have faith in Regulus.
We are making a gamble. We have stripped warp engines on Bastion on this gamble. It's not that they are broken, it's that we have to do everything we can for this.
We'll do the same.
Pardon?
She goes, I will do the same.
I have business at the cathedral. Perhaps you will go and pray, and I will pick you up on my way back.
Yes, I will stop by to get the scouts. If that's okay.
Please. Zavi.
Yeah, I think I will also go down to Bastion.
Okay. You'll travel down. I think that, you know, you go down with some of the staff that are moving things back and forth from Bastion to Bellerophon and so on. And I think kind of once you hit the streets, you definitely get, like, you feel that tension in the air. You can see some places where there has been some rioting, where there's been some pushback. And it also looks like the administratum is taking a heavier hand in sort of organizing work and labor and so on than they did before. And the pressure from Bastion mentally is heavy. So what are you doing?
I'm going to look up Koja.
Okay. You will follow up on what was said before, and you will find that he is in fact kind of been assigned to be a like an RA, like a overseer for kids, and like when you arrive at the place where he's at, essentially it's a sports complex, and he and a set of other people your age are desperately trying to herd about 100 kids that are 13 and younger. Yes, these are probably almost all of the children. And in fact, you'll see some of the scout orphans that you rescued. But essentially, Koja has decided that basketball is the solution to everything, and it's one giant gym with like 8 different hoops, and he's trying to keep things in line. And of course, he's in shorts and a tank top, and he comes over with the towel around him, kind of glistening a little, drinks the water as he comes over. Zavi.
Uh, like I'm looking at him admiringly, and like, hi, hi.
When did you get back?
Um, just a few hours ago.
Oh, so what are you up to?
Taking advantage of my one day off
Oh, uh, to do what?
to come and see you.
Oh, really? Well, cool. Uh, you want to play some ball?
Sure, sure.
So do you think Savi's good at basketball?
I think Xavi is good at aspects of basketball,
Okay.
uh, but cannot like get the ball through the hoop to save his life. I think
Okay.
he's good at like stealing the ball and like keeping control of it, but just just should really just hand it off to somebody else to make the shot.
And I think one of the things is word gets around shortly that you are one of the mecha pilots, and like like there are a bunch of kids in here, and they like a shepherd, a sheepdog has kind of started to herd them over to kind of surround in the court where you're playing, and like you've seen the adults, there's that tension around here. Kids don't have any of that. They've been taught that you are, important, valued people who are making a sacrifice, who are going to save us.
Yeah.
And you see them looking on kind of with admiration and excitement. And for everyone here, it's kind of infectious.
Yeah, I mean, for the scout kids, like one of them became a mecha pilot, although not this one apparently.
So they will, you'll play for a while. There's a lunch break where you kind of go to, a big organized, uh, uh, you know, kids meal where they are arguing and everyone wants to sit at your table and all this stuff. Uh, but eventually, uh, Kojo, will get some time to sit at a table with you kind of alone after they sent the kids off to do some of their afternoon classes. So how are you?
Uh, been better, but I'm okay. Uh,
You seem different. I mean, and
yeah.
like in a good way, like you got this glow about you.
Um, yeah, so I am sorry I told you I was a mechanic before. I guess you heard the truth.
Yeah, I did. I talked to one of our friends, and they knew. I kind of felt bad that it put you in that a kind of a shitty position because clearly you had to keep it secret, and I kind of, I was sorry I kind of put that pressure
I,
on you when you're doing all that work for Bastion.
I didn't have to keep it secret. I just didn't want it to be a big deal.
I wouldn't have made it a big
Um,
deal.
well, okay, okay. Uh, anyway, I apparently have learned to transcend now, and maybe that's what's um be the after effects of that because it was not long ago.
What does that mean?
Um, and I give him like the sort of standard definition of transcendence.
So you
Um,
tap into your inner essential psychic self?
yeah, pretty much. It's kind of different for everybody, so it's hard to like have
Holy
a
shit, the
concrete
others
description.
could do it, but you couldn't? That must have been hard.
Yeah, Yeah, yeah. Wasn't that bad, honestly.
Says, I'm gonna give an example. And I feel shitty even giving you my example, but maybe to say like I kind of understand, like uh like I'm dyslexic and like I've always I've worked around it. I've worked really hard on it, and I've worked around it and stuff. Uh, but I can understand what it's like being with a group of people that can do something that comes to them real easy. But for you, it's effort.
Yeah. Um, uh, Transcendent dyslexia. Yeah. That's actually a really good, that's a good analogy. But it turns out I can do it. It does take a lot of effort. And so far I can only do it in like panic. But
Well, you must be pleased. I say
uh,
that, but I got the sense that maybe you're not pleased.
it's it's not pleasant.
Oh,
Um, and that's another thing I can't quite describe. But
you
it's
don't have
not
to. If you
pleasant.
don't want to, you don't have to.
Uh, anyway, I didn't come here to talk about all that. Although I'm
Oh,
glad to get it off my chest and tell you because I didn't actually want it to be a secret. I just um came here to hang out and be just normal for a little while.
well, I'm glad you thought of me. Uh,
You're the
uh,
most normal person I know.
oh well,
I
I don't
That's
know.
not an insult.
Oh, good. Okay. There was a moment there where I wasn't sure how to take that. Well, let's hang out. I got time until this evening. You can help me with the kids a bit, and we'll just, you just relax. You don't have to do anything.
Yeah, that sounds excellent.
And I think we'll cut there. Uh, we have downtime. You have from your special abilities. You have uh, additional downtime actions distributing members equal to the current Leviathans tier track. So 3 to do that with. Of course, you got the on borrowed time that you have at your disposal. I don't think your engine stuff does anything to help except for the make a connection bonus and the training facility in case you wanted to put some XP into stun. Stun. I have lost the ability for words, or rather, the correct words. Sia, what would you like to do for your first downtime action?
So many things. I am very torn. I want to be responsible and caring and go work on the engines.
Okay.
And I want to go yell at a god, and I don't know what move that is. And also I want to rip the Bellerophon's computer systems apart until they tell me the secrets that no one will tell me.
Well, let's start with the engine. How about that?
Okay, fine.
Uh, so what do you think is the right uh, s- uh, action for you working on Lyra?
And this is with this new shrine.
Yes, you're going to get an additional, it's going to go up a result level. It's going to go up a tier. Also, I am going to
Analyze.
say that cannot be combined with on borrowed time.
Yeah, it's the one that can't,
Yeah.
which is unfortunate. But I think maybe analyze.
Okay.
It talks about like seeing beyond the surface presentation of the world.
Sure. How are you doing this? Is there some way in which you're invoking the engine's virtue to help you to get you an extra die?
Interesting.
We haven't really invoked this for a while, so I wanted to remind you of that.
Fierce. That's hard. I don't think so here for
Okay.
this. I'm having a hard time with
Yeah.
fierce devoted prayer. Um,
So
but what would be a potential poison promise on that?
let me look and think about that. I think that the poison promise, I will give you an extra die. But I think that in the meantime, some of your surveillance material on the Bellerophon, your systems have been discovered.
No, I'll do the stress. I
Okay.
haven't used those yet. What I do is Sia goes into the shrine and radiance starts to glow out of him as he reaches out and touches the weird impossible artifact, and it starts to like spin and change faster, and he begins to uh, hum and sing along with the whirring of the gears. And as he does, like the blue and purple sort of radiant lights spark up in the middle of the artifact, like it grows temporarily to a larger size with these like orbits of gears going around it. And I can see in the light in the middle of it to the heart of Lyra and that like energy sphere that makes up the center of them.
So let's have you roll those 2d6.
I get one more for singing too.
That's right.
Her. So there we go.
So
5.
so that becomes a 4.
4, yeah.
4 ticks.
So that's a strength
So,
recovered and
yeah,
those same 2 ticks. Yep.
a solid recovery there. Tav.
I am also going to go to our Fix-It Shrine
Okay.
and work on Pegasus.
All right. Tell me what you're doing to repair Pegasus, and like, are you invoking their virtue to help you? Can you, or
Well, what I'm thinking, and I think I'm going at this perhaps in a less devoted and a more analytical way of trying to compensate. And there's this, again, where I kind of described that the pilot becomes a bit of the conduit between, connecting the energies of this shrine back to the the engine itself.
okay?
And I'm going to request something that I kind of hope, and as we reach the end, maybe you'll go for it. It's up to you, but I would request a poison promise that opens up a new impulse for my engine. That's, in the engine phase, it says that you could give a poison promise as a new impulse that my engine has. And I'm thinking maybe with this first time using the shrine, that energy awakens some new dark impulse in Pegasus.
Absolutely. I think that you are going to get sentimental.
Ooh. Oh, how interesting.
Like,
All right.
I think there is your own worry about Sandahl, and you're remembering the Sandahl that you knew before, and you're kind of worrying about Sia and the Sia that you knew before. And I think there's something of that transmits over to Pegasus. Does that seem reasonable?
Oh, I love it. That seems awfully cool.
Right.
I'll write that in just a moment.
And you're not transcendent, but you do get to mark XP for accepting a poison promise based on its impulse.
Oh, that's cute. Okay, cool.
So you can
Put one
drop that
the
in your stars tab. Thing.
stat I'm using.
Yeah.
Phew. All right.
So you're rolling with 3 dice and an additional effect level right now.
And an additional effect level. All right. 1, 2, 3. Ooh.
So 5 goes up to 6. So you get 6 ticks.
6 ticks and they'll roll over?
Yeah. So you'll clear 1 and you'll be halfway towards the next one.
Nice.
If
No, that'll
someone
clear. Oh no, that's Lyra that has one.
Right.
Cool.
If someone were to work on one of those and there would be extra ticks left over, I would let those ticks carry to another engine. That is my generous offer to folks.
That is very generous. Thank you.
Manon. And where's everybody at injury-wise, too? Don't forget about
Yeah,
that.
that's exactly what I'm worried about, because if I remember correctly, Tavi is kind of all dinged up, is he not?
I think we all are on a lesser effect except Radiant. All of us have at least one.
Yeah.
I think you have 2.
Savi has 2.
Savi has 2.
Mhm.
You know what? I'm down there on Bastion too.
Okay.
And I think it kind of makes sense that I've come to the same gym where Zavi's at and the scouts are at. And so yeah, I probably see Zavi. I remember that he has like the dinged up arm and everything. And I'll go and get a first aid kit and go and sort of sit down with him while he's sitting out from his basketball playing. And I'll go, oh, so you found the cutie again, did you?
Yeah.
I like that.
Same here.
It's good with kids.
Yeah. Way more patience than I have. These are a lot of kids. Also, some of them are scarily good at basketball.
Well, gives them something to
The
look
taller
forward
ones are
to.
dangerous.
She sort of nods, watches, and she goes, hey, let me take a look at your arm, okay?
Oh, yeah, sure. Now that you mention it, it hurts. I'd been kind of ignoring it.
Yeah. She goes, I mean, it's only seeping through your sleeve a little bit. So, there's some black bandages in here. I can put those over after we get things taken care of. Does that seem okay?
Yeah.
So, analyze.
Sure, that seems good.
That's 2 dice. Do you want to
Sure.
push yourself?
That's like 2 stress,
2
right?
stress.
Sure. Oh wait, I shouldn't mark Zavi's though. That would be
Okay.
rude of me.
That'd
Sorry,
be
I was
very
looking
rude.
at your sheets to see what your things were. Sure. You got some stress on me, Lowell. You're doing good. Okay. So I'm pushing myself, and that gives me a
Three.
third dice.
Third die.
Okay. So 5.
So you will clear 3 ticks.
Okay.
You
That's
could
an
spend
awkward
one
amount.
of our preparation to take it up a level.
That is true. Yeah. And then both you and Zavi would clear your harm because of your constant
Okay.
care move.
All right, that sounds
Oh,
great.
nice.
If you don't mind. That would be lovely.
Nice catch, Tyler.
It
Yeah.
is.
So
Okay, so
I'll erase that readiness. Dunk.
okay, good, because I was about to do it and then we would have double erased and it would have been a horror show. So that's okay. So I think we both feel better after
Yeah.
that. You should get rid of the
Right, cool.
bleedy one.
Yeah.
She goes, are you feeling better? Or is there something, and she kind of will wiggle your wrist, you know, to see. She's testing you, you can tell. So do you acknowledge that you still have damage or not?
Yeah, I don't remember what the last harm was. I think it was more of a
Lingering
well,
feeling of energy in your body.
yeah. um yeah, I think I just chalked that up to radiance thing.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right. And she goes, are you feeling better?
Yeah, actually that helped a lot. I probably should have done something about it back on the ship. I honestly I forgot about it. How stupid is that?
It's not stupid. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, there was. That's kind of why I came down here, actually. Um,
I
I
think
assume
that there's a lot going on purpose.
yeah, I don't know what's going on and why nobody's telling us anything. Um,
I have some idea. There are, for one thing, it's the bishop. And he holds that faith and strength in all things. So for us to lend him our faith is the most powerful choice that we can make. And I think he assumes that we would do it. But the other thing is that the tactic is a scatter tactic. It can work, but if they talk about it, it becomes less likely.
all right. Um,
Think of it as we're a distraction for what the other team is doing, and they're a distraction for what we're doing.
okay. Yeah, I mean that kind of makes sense. I hope they just didn't pick, exactly the wrong time to get rid of half the people.
Think that that's what they hope as well. I don't
Um,
know. I don't know. The only thing to me is that we go with it. If we were to rebel and not do a thing that was the intention, that was the tactic, all we can do is make it worse.
I mean, I wasn't planning on rebelling.
No, see, because
I don't even know what I would rebel against. Like they haven't told us enough to rebel against.
She nods.
Maybe that's the idea.
Yeah, I perhaps it was the wrong word. Is to stop, to refuse, to insist. That's all. I guess
Yeah,
in
I
these
mean-
moments, all we can do is go for it, go with it.
Not a lot else we can do.
Sandahl is here and alive, except it's a different Sandahl. There
Yeah,
may be versions of that happening all over. Do you see what I mean?
yeah. It did occur to me
Man
that
and roll me a d6.
Really?
Yeah.
What do I want to roll?
You don't want to roll a 1.
I rolled a 3.
Okay, go on.
But that's just a kind of clumsy way of saying we have to go with it.
yeah. I look. I can't tell you that I am not, that I don't have misgivings about this, and that I'm not suspicious, and that I don't want to know what the hell is going on. I can tell you, and I hope this is reassuring. I do not know enough to do anything other than what I'm told. What am I rebelling against? How, you know, if they told me to do something, I don't know enough to refuse.
I
So
think she stops
it's
and
fine.
she goes, and understand that I'm saying that as much for myself as I am saying it to you.
Oh, okay. You don't know enough to refuse either.
Exactly.
Zavi, I almost feel like if we're about to go to your downtime action, that maybe you're doing a link.
I think that was indeed what I was going
Okay.
for there. I didn't bother to
but-
call a new scene because
No, I think that's good, and I am going to give you the extra die that you have on the ship because I think we kind of like we put you in a different place. So I will give you the die that you normally would have for that. What do you want to roll that with? Is it empathize? Is it perceive?
uh actually read this. I think it's confess.
Okay.
Oh, do I still get I do not still get a +1. Okay.
But you get a +1 for the ship, so 6. So
6.
that is a 4 links.
Wow. And does
and-
Zavi get those or I get those? I'm always so confused with
those.
other links.
You mark
Okay.
down 4 links with Zavi.
Okay.
And links with Zavi on other player sheets can be spent to affect any character.
Oh, that still works?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's still true.
Yes.
Yeah.
All
The only thing
right.
is that I don't get an extra downtime move, and I don't get a +1 on links anymore.
All right.
See ya.
Hello. So I was looking at it, and the boop boop make preparations is the information gathering move, which
Yeah.
also has a gather info attached to it.
Mhm.
So I want to use my backdoors into the Blairfon systems as like fictional positioning for doing preparations here, because amongst
Sure.
other things, Sia does genuinely believe that this secrecy is hurting our chances of getting through this. he's trying to help by finding this information. He's trying to satisfy other urges too, but
Absolutely. I think this is a very good plan.
this is so good. This is the best plan. I am very much
I'm just
trying
going to say to you, there are potentially consequences for what you're about to do.
Yeah, I know,
Okay.
but I'm not reaching out and talking to what's her name again.
So,
Trying
what do you want
touch
to
a
use
different
for
stove.
gather information?
So I am really concerned about not being detected and keeping everything secret. So I think conceal.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I have my shrouded in secrets, where when my mundane identity conceals my true purpose, I get
Yeah.
an extra die.
Yeah, so that seems like 3 dice.
Yes. Okay, I'm going to do that.
So that is a 4. So that would be three ticks on preparations, which is
And
significant. On readiness, rather, readiness.
yes.
I'll let you tick those in.
So, as a question, I have, what does X intend to do? What is Arcturus's actual mission?
I'm going to say to you again, is that the question that you are asking?
Yeah.
Okay. So you will cut in on a feed where you see the bishop there. And one of those tech priests is there and is saying, you flew on the shuttle with Manon. You understand how dangerous that is. And he's like, I understand the potential consequences for this. He says, tech priest says, if everything collapses, if they understand this, and he said, I trust them. I have trust their faith. I trust that they will carry through. And then he's going to say something else. And Sia, there is a screeching in your head. And the Bellerophon shakes. And you will hear red alerts go on all over the Bellerophon. And you will see that part of Bastion has exploded. You will see one of those 4 cardinal points has blown up, just absolutely exploded. And there are fires and collapsing and debris everywhere. And you realize that there's something in your head, that there's an answer in your head that you have heard and you have done something. And part of Team Arcturus's mission has failed. You may ask a follow-up.
As I'm gonna go with my original idea, although I feel I might know an answer to this.
Okay.
What can we do to get them back here faster?
There is nothing that you can do to get them back here faster except what you have just done, is to pull them back from where they are by collapsing the waveform and destroying them.
Yeah, I think Sia like yells and breaks his screen and a couple of other things.
So, Tav, you are there on the Bellerophon when the red alerts go off, and you will see there is an explosion down on Bastion. You're quickly scanning there. The people are on the comms checking, is there a Leviathan? You know, what's going on? And you see they're tracking. We had some kind of remember from Neon Genesis where they had the weird waveform monitors and it's gone off the charts. There was that. We got it, and then the wave collapsed. And they're not sure what's going on, and the radio traffic is crazy.
Beginning. Okay, beginning again. I'm gonna turn back to the screens where I'm working on projects. I'm going to be attempting investigate as well.
Okay.
So I think I'm using analyze.
Sure.
And in particular, what I'm kind of looking into, and that'll be with my question, I suppose.
Well, let's have you roll.
Let's have
We'll
a
get your
roll
mark and
first.
preparations, and we'll see what you want to do.
Okay. This is the one we can't use readiness to push up readiness.
Right.
So I'm gonna push myself.
Okay. Mark II stress.
Yep. I have when I gather info though, I do get to increase it a level, which is
Yeah.
nice. And in my question, it is having to do with Sia and Lyra. Do I get that extra die?
Yeah, I think that's fair. Yeah.
All right. So 2, 3, 4.
Yeah. So
That's
that is a
crit.
6 that goes to a critical. So you're going to get 5 added to the readiness track, which is, we'll max that out. And you get questions.
My question is, what is different this time about Lyra? Looking back at mine, kind of taking into account what I heard from Sandahl, what is different about Lyra in this multiverse, or in this universe?
Radiant defied that other part of Lyra in that combat. Radiant pushed back. Remember where you all went into the visions and such? Like Radiant was able to overcome in that when he could have been drawn in.
And this is in the combat in mine.
In yours,
in
our world, something happened, something corrupted him. You weren't sure what it was, and now you think that must have happened at some point. Like that thing must have reached out to Sia in your world at some point, and he couldn't resist it.
Gotcha.
Whereas here, he confronted it directly, and Radiant/Sia was able to overcome.
That's the difference in Lyra that I'm seeing.
Does that seem like a fair answer, Patrick? Okay.
All right.
You've got another question and a follow-up.
All right. What is already in motion here? With this explosion going on, with this mission and that's going on, what is in motion here?
Do you want to know what the plan is? Is that what you're asking me?
No, I'm more looking into like with their
I,
plan
thi-
isn't as much.
I think you know what's in motion. I think you know that plan is in motion. I think you.
Okay.
I think you already like in the meta. I think you already have a sense of that. So I don't want you to burn your question on something where I'd be kind of repeating what you might already know.
Well, I suppose maybe it's are we trying to lure Leviathans here? Is that in motion? Are we anticipating that they're coming? Is that what's in motion?
Yeah, they're not trying to lure them, but they know that the Leviathans are coming. I mean, it's going to happen. They've always been able to follow you. They've always been dogged on your path. It is not a question of putting out bait. They know that is the future. The putting it in this system with these solar flares and fluctuations delays that, but it's going to happen.
Okay.
You have a follow-up.
I think it's going to go back to that first question then. Is no, I don't have a follow-up.
Okay. Then you got a critical. So I'm going to give you a flashback for a moment of you talking to the bishop. And I think that you will remember what the bishop said. And, when he asked you to have faith, and he said that he has faith because of you. Manon.
Ugh. So
Explosion.
I know,
outside.
that's it is,
I think Zavi, Manon, also, you're going to get on your comms. We need you back immediately back to the ship.
I give the scouts a quick hug, and sort of grab Zop by the arm that he's nursing less, and kind of we take off, I suppose.
And I think Zavi, as you're going, I think that the coach just sees you, sees the explosion, sees you up and moving, and he will say, "You're coming back, right?"
Yeah, be safe. I'll see you later.
No, you be safe. So, Manon,
And
what do you want to do? What?
I'm going to say, he likes you. And it was awkward, though.
Yes. Manon, what would you like to do for your second downtime action?
Okay, so I've got Zavi right here, and I could heal the other wound. Take care of Tav.
And we don't have to do this in the immediate aftermath of this thing. We can cut forward because these downtime actions are abstract.
Okay. Let's see here. I don't know. It's half of one.
Also, don't forget, Sia, Tyler, that you still have your downtime actions because those make preparations comes out of that pool of 3. So just make sure that you remember that.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I could do make preparations, couldn't I?
You could,
But
but
we're
you
full at
shouldn't
the moment.
because we're all full.
Oh, okay.
So people
So
should use that, and then someone should
then someone do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Oof. I don't know. I'm gonna roll a die. Let's see here. 1 through 3, it's Tavi. Nice and easy. 4 through 6, it's
Okay.
So Zavi or Tav, and you guys, the name,
Gabi and Tavi.
yeah, okay, so I probably will go to see Tav to see if he's doing okay, because
Okay.
Zavi said that they
So,
were fine.
maybe a little bit later, but
Mhm.
at some point you will track down Octavius, probably while he's working on the engines again, kind of checking on those things.
Okay.
And what are you using to do your care?
Or maybe it's when I'm taking a break and having a bite to eat.
Okay,
That's a good
we
point.
can do that. We can do that. So, yeah, in the mess hall.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, I didn't get a chance to eat when I was down there. I got all distracted because of the cutie and Savi, and so I tell you that. That's the first thing I tell you about. And I said, I think it's all coming together for Zavi. It should be great.
So analyze
Yeah, I guess if that's a good thing to use on this, I'll take a look at your
2d6.
arm.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, are you fixing me? Then it really doesn't matter where
Yeah,
we're at. We
yeah.
could be anywhere.
It makes good sense. I didn't get a chance to eat,
Yeah.
so
Okay, cool.
We
Okay.
all know we're gonna have a roll 2d6 because if you get a critical, we'll give you something beneficial. But otherwise, you're gonna
spend
clear
some
his
points.
wrist. So 2d6.
I got a 6.
Okay.
I could, so that'll clear the wrist?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
In fact, if you wanted to spend that resource to push it up to a critical, I would let you carry that over onto Zavi to clear the other harm. Just like we were doing with the engines.
I will spend that point. That is very kind of you. Yes.
It is. We are going into the end game. So
All right. I appreciate that. Yes, I will spend that point, which means someone has to do a readiness roll.
so we got one more readiness roll left.
Mhm.
You have done both your downtime actions.
I have.
Okay. Zavi, what do you want to do for your second downtime action?
I think that I'm gonna find Sandahl and help her work on Altair.
Okay. What do you want to roll that with?
Good question. It's either analyze or perceive, isn't it? Can't remember which is which. It's analyze.
Okay. So that's a 1d6. Are you pushing yourself?
No.
Okay. So 1d6. So that is a 5. So that will clear, goes up a 1. So you will clear 4 ticks. So that will clear that out.
Cool.
All right. So we have on the table 2 more downtime actions, both from Octavius and Sia. But I want to stop here because we're getting close to time. We're going to start with those next time. But I do want to do some RP scenes. We'll finish that out, and we will get into it as we go into the penultimate session. So let's do stars and wishes. Patrick.
I sort of want to give you a star, Lowell, for designing a set of horrible consequences around my inability to leave it the fuck alone, but also no stars for you, you terrible person. this was a really interesting and intense session. Um, uh, Ethan, that your interpretation of the transcendence as like horrible and painful and like dying and something that is just so so contrary to your body and your mind's sense of self-preservation is just fascinating. Is not what I was expecting, but it explains so much of like why you haven't so far. And then there's that little line in your new move that you can only transcend after you see one of us take consequences. So it's still like you still can't just bring yourself to do it. So this is such a great interpretation of that. And it very much led me to that idea of Sia asking you for ways to suppress Radiant. How do I stop this transcendence? This thing that, ostensibly from your playbook wise, like your character should have been fighting for this whole time. And so I love that dynamic that built up there. Sherry, I really like watching Manon get moon-eyed over someone. That was so unexpected. It was delightful. And Tyler and Lowell again both like all of this, the various darker timelines and digging into the consequences. And Tyler, your really reconnection with your sister here in like alternate timelines, different dimensions, whatever. It was all really cool. I love how much all of this stuff at the end is our own bullshit coming back on us. Wishes. I don't know. I'm curious at exploring this idea of Sia trying to suppress Radiant while someone else has just been told that maybe Radiant is the only thing that will stop Lyra from destroying everything. That's I love painful dramatic irony.
Well, I've got a bucket full. So Tyler.
One thing first, Sherry, since you pushed the recover up to a critical, you also got a link with either B or with Zavi.
Ooh.
Nice.
Ooh.
That's
Thank
a benefit of a critical on a recover.
I think
Sabi's-
you should take it with Zavi because it could be good for anyone.
I know, I
Mhm.
agree. I am at least that gooby. So yes, Savi, the universal link.
This was super intense all around. I really enjoyed the discussion with Bannon and Sandahl at the onset. It set a tone, I think, that was carried through. So Sherry, that was really good because it really put us in a headspace that, like I say, it colored the whole way we were going. So that was excellent. I'll agree that with Patrick that Ethan, hearing how Zavi looks at something that Tab obviously revels in transcendence. And, in a lot of ways, that's, Tab sort of revels in everything. But transcendence is one of the few good things about all of this horrible things to him. And so to hear that from you, I mean, he was just dumbfounded. It was like, oh, when I was dealing. So that was just so cool to work with. And then I enjoyed the basketball scene. I thought that was really sweet. Lowell, I like how you portrayed them, and seeing this you know, the two of you working together in this, as Sherry says, awkward but very sweet moment. Damn, Patrick, Chaos Monkey all over the place. I mean, you threw poo at everything. It just very, very cool. And it's, you know, I mean, I can't say I'm surprised that you did it, but lol, I was surprised at where it went. And along with that, lol, I really kind of liked how you had the bishop this time. Since I spoke with him, he seems different. Like you've made him a little softer in this rediscovery of faith in him. And that's a neat bit of role play, lol, to take someone that, I mean, the first session, I think we saw him like backhand a kid across a room. And to see this difference, very, very neat. Patrick, I do also want to our shrine giving us our initial
That was a
image.
great idea.
Very much the whole concept of the interlocking and the motion of that was very cool. But it was, you know, this was a session where we were playing to our strengths. We're all very good at mopey, sad, emotional stuff. And, you know, we did what we do best, and we did it very, very well. My wishes, I don't know if I get to hear from him, but I would like to have some understanding from why my Bastion sent me.
All will be revealed.
That's just a wish. That's just a wish.
Oh no, that
Is it going to be confusing like the original ending of
yeah, and then we're gonna have to do the session again like 3 times.
3 times?
Yeah,
With
we'll
completely
come back
different
in a
ways to
couple
read it.
months and play the last 2 sessions again, and then we'll come back on the 5-year anniversary of the end of it, and we'll try them again. And then we'll do like an abbreviated story version where we tell like the whole story of it in one session.
With the subtext always being, I always hated you. There you go.
Oh my God.
And my other wish is, and I foresee being able to do, but I want to have a nice chance, a moment for Sia and I with a connect move. I'm going to go ahead and flag that I intend for that to happen. Okay. I do have 2 more actions left since I've only used one of my own real
Oh, that's
ones.
right. Oh, you have 3 actions?
That's my advance I took.
Oh, that's right.
It's split, whatever. It's my veteran advance.
Oh, that's nice.
Took it out of the harmony.
Okay. Manon.
Let's see here. Well, what everyone said was absolutely correct. There was a lot of great play, a lot of good moments. I really, I have to agree that Zavi's spinning out on what their transcendence was like and what they feel like afterwards, and how it doesn't seem to be a great deep clarification for them is really neat. And that's the thing is it's not like we really talk to each other too much about what our transcendence is like for each of us. You get the thing that Sia does transcendence by proxy with Radiant, and that's cool because Radiant's really good at it. He pretty much just is transcended. Tyler has always reveled in it. I always see Manon treating transcendence as just like communing with Regulus and has no other sense of it. It's you know, her reward for her faith in Regulus and all the church things, but mostly Regulus. And so it's just really cool. It's a great little theme, a great little thing to kind of be touching in these things. I really have liked how the interaction between Manon and Sia Radiant has always been his refuting her faith And she just not able to comprehend how he just can't trust his teammates. And there's just that kind of thing of this kind of complete, like, the other team, she, you know, other people in the team she can deal with, but like she doesn't understand how to get to Sia. And
it's gotten to the point where when I make those decisions, I physically can't look at you on screen because I can feel Manon judging me.
she does. And she tries not to, because in her heart she knows that she shouldn't, that you are, you know, there's just a whole bunch of things she should have faith in you and that you've been sent for some reason, but holy smacks, can she not see it right now? So that is very much, yes. So I just kind of like that sort of that frustration and that friction that she can't act on and you always do. So it is interesting to see. And I don't know, Tyler, I like to think that in some ways Manon considers this Tav like her friend. And I like in my heart, I feel like she wasn't really a friend with the other Tav. Does that make any sense? That she feels closer to you.
Yeah.
Nice.
So anyway, this is like one of those great like sets of, it is a really complicated group dynamic that you get to play out with battles. It's awesome. It's really a good setup. Everyone should try this game with the group that they love.
Wishes?
I mean, I like a happy ending, but I just want a satisfying ending at the very least, if it can't be happy.
We shall see.
I know. I know.
Zabi.
I can see the tragedy writ large.
Yeah, stars to everybody, and I think particularly for the like very divergent reactions to the stuff going on. I like that Manon is totally willing to just be like, okay, yes, I have to trust that they, you know, everything's got to have faith, and Sia being like totally, no, I have to know. I don't care. I have to know. And then like, you know, Tav and Zavi each sort of having their own, you know, Zavi lacking the attention span to be depressed for too long. And Tav kind of like getting to work and figuring out the time travel and what the hell's going on with Sandahl thing. I thought that those were all extremely in character, but also the only one that I could have absolutely predicted would be Manon. And like, I guess actually, if I had thought about it for long, so yeah. But yeah, so I liked all the conversations, all of the interactions, but you know, particularly the overall theme of you know, each character's very in character reaction to what was going on. That played out very nicely. And wishes. I don't think I have any stars or wishes that have not already been covered.
Okay.
So I'll just leave it at that.
All right. Excellent. Thank you all so much. I know I skipped XP. We'll do XP at the start of next session. Just remind me of that. So we can do that, but we kind of hit up against time, and I will pumpkin out if we go much longer. So we'll do that next time. I am going to stop the recording.